So it's been a year approximately since I released that video. I never ever want to seem like I'm milking this situation, and I never want to seem like I'm being disrespectful to anyone. What I've found by talking about things that I've been through in my life, it seems to be incredibly helpful for a lot of people. I share my life experiences in hope that people can relate, people can get something from them, and also make people not feel alone. If you're new here, hello. About a year ago, it was about just over a year ago, me and a partner of mine, actually my husband, we got married, split up. So it was in November last year, and I didn't actually release the video, which was essentially my year summarized, and then I announced it because, you know, I hadn't spoken about it. That came out in January. So it's been around a year since the breakup and also the announcement of our breakup. And I kind of wanted to talk about today what's gone on in that year, how it's affected me, how I've moved on as a person, and sort of things that I've learnt along the way. In no way do I want to seem disrespectful to my ex-boyfriend and to my current boyfriend. I've spoken to my current boyfriend about me talking about this topic, and he completely understands that it's an important topic to talk about, therefore, so he's understanding. My ex, he don't care. He says, say what, call him all the names under the sun before he cares, like he doesn't give a shit. So I thought I will basically go from the beginning and talk about like my journey, I guess. I'm kind of making this for people out there that have been through similar things, who are going through similar things, and I just want to tell my story so A, you don't feel alone, and B, you feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So me and my ex got married in July the 1st, 2017, and in November 2017, he left. His reasoning behind leaving was basically, essentially, he no longer wanted to have to compromise his time for anyone else. He didn't have time for me. I knew it. I was unhappy. Like, I could tell that something was up. No, actually, I couldn't tell that something was up. I was just unhappy with the way that I guess I was being treated. He didn't have time for me. Essentially, it boils down to the fact that he no longer wanted to basically be a husband. And I kind of wish he made that decision before we got married. We did talk about things kind of a bit like a few days later, and it didn't really get anywhere. He just explained a bit more how he was feeling about it. We kind of left it like that. And it's difficult. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm being a bitch and I'm saying that he's a terrible, terrible person. People change, and what they want changes, and so that's not a bad thing, I guess. At first, it was a shock. And also, it was just before Christmas as well. I was just sort of getting in the festive spirit. I think the day before we broke up, me and my mum and my sister actually went to a Christmas show. So I was a bit like, And at first, the feeling I had was like, oh my God, I can't believe this has just happened. It was more of just like, whoa, shock. Shit. And then I kind of guess that the closer it got to Christmas, the more self-pity I had. I knew this was a good choice and it was a good decision, because essentially we weren't happy as a couple, and I don't really think, honestly, that he was right for me. Don't get me wrong, I still care about him, and I still have really fond memories, and I still, you know, think he's cool, but I don't think that he's the type of guy for me, because I'm like a yes person and he was always a no person. We have our differences, like there was a few things that we had in common, but most of the time we, you know, he just didn't. Anyway, so I knew it was a good decision, and I knew that in the long run it would have been for the best. But I kind of also, I'm not a quitter, and I kind of would have liked to, at the time, been able to work through it a bit more and maybe spoke about it and tried to make it work, but that wasn't an option and that wasn't going to happen. So I did feel a little bit like, shit. I had a lot of self-pity around Christmas time, more for the fact that it was Christmas and I felt a lot of pressure to be happy, and for, you know, people with their families, people spend it with their husbands and their boyfriends. And I had a lovely Christmas with my mum and my sister, but I kind of felt a little bit like a failure because I was on my own, like I was single. But, you know, we just had fun time. We all got pissed, we played games, we watched movies, and I did have a lovely time. But there was this niggling feeling at the back of my brain that was like, so that kind of sucked. Then I got to New Year, and this is when I obviously made the video where I announced that we'd broken up. And because I felt like I'd got that off my chest in terms of like the online world, and being honest, I was doing Vlogmas at the time, and I was doing Vlogmas without like talking about it. I was keeping it very hush-hush. I felt a lot better talking about it and getting it off my chest. I was so determined to be okay that I set myself loads of goals for the year. Like I was like, it's fine, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna launch this, I'm gonna be such a better person, girl power, who needs a man, fuck that shit, ba 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 boom. And I really went into 2018 with all guns blazing, with all these intentions and all these goals. And I feel, looking back, that may have been some massive defense mechanism to make myself feel that I was okay and that I could handle it. And to be honest, at the time, I felt okay. Like I was cool as a cucumber, and I honestly believed in myself that I could do all those things. I was also making a lot of changes around the house. Like I took down the wall of love, which was like pictures of me and my ex and adventures that we'd been on, and I replaced it with pictures of me and my friends. That was something that I did. I just had to get the past out and in with the new, and just surround myself with people that I love and who also love me as well. That was like a big step as well, like de-exing the house. I feel it was, I guess, a case of finding myself again in a way that like didn't revolve around someone else being in my life. It's weird because we were together 4 years and I'd been in various different relationships before that. Like I'd never had a long break between relationships. I don't know, one might say that I can't not be in a relationship, and others, you could also put it down to just circumstances. Like you just can't help it when you meet someone, can you? It was just a time of just trying to become comfortable being on my own, comfortable, like just living my life, but just as me. Because obviously when you're with someone, you share your life with them, and you have compromises, you have routines, you have things that you do, and then that stops, and you have to kind of work out how you live again. So even if it's like, you know, I think one of the hardest things is like, you know, when you have your like good morning text when you've gone to work, or like you expect them home at a certain time each day, like your lunchtime phone call, just things that become routine and become your norm, just stop. And that is one of the difficult things of when you're with someone and then it just stops. Like you just have to figure out what life is without them and what you are without them. I guess I went through like some sort of self-discovery, self-independent sort of thing. Cut my hair, I cut my hair super short. I don't think that was because of the breakup, but you know, I was just changing up things in my life. I guess I saw my friends more. I was going on a lot of more friend dates and seeing my friends more. A classic old thing happened where when you break up with someone, like people that you know, or I don't want to say crawl out the woodwork because that sounds really cynical and really sinister and mean, but you get people started talking to you when they realize that you're single, and so you kind of talk to different people. I mean, it was never in my intention to ever hook up with anyone or like go on dates that early on. You know, some people just start talking to you and you're just a bit like, oh, hi. Because I just wasn't ready for anything. And then I got through, like my birthday was in February. One thing that I really did feel when we first split up and when it first sort of happened was the feeling that like of being unwanted, and you have this fear that you're never gonna find love again, and that no one's ever gonna love you. And that because also like I'm 27 going into 28, I don't really have like social places to go to. Like I don't go to an office to work. I don't really go out. I don't do anything where I meet new people. So I was really afraid that I was never gonna meet anyone. So I kind of, in my head at the time, like I was just going through so much stuff. Like it was trying to get used to being alone, trying to get used to myself, battling these thoughts of feeling like no one's gonna ever want me again, and also equally trying to make myself feel like I'm okay and that I'm badass and that I'm a babe and that I can get through shit. And I was always delivering positive messages online and always, you know, trying to seem positive because I really wanted to be the you know, like an example to people that are going through the same stuff, that everything will be okay. And I knew that everything was going to be okay, but also I kind of also forgot that at times I wasn't okay and that's all right. Josie didn't move back, but she came back from traveling. So it was a bit of a relief because I was like, oh my God, I got my friend back and I can see her. She was single as well. Because bear in mind that all my friends are in relationships. They're either married or they've got kids and they're all like doing the grown up life things. And then Josie broke up with her boyfriend last year and she was single. She came back from traveling and we hung out. We did Galentine's Day. So on Valentine's Day, we did our own date. And that was probably the best Valentine's Day I've ever had, if I'm honest, because I went out a lot more. Like I went out drinking a lot more, socializing with people, and I don't want people to confuse that with me just drowning my sorrows. Bear in mind that when I was in a relationship, I never really went out. Like we didn't go out. And then when I was single, I kind of just saw it as like oh fuck it, I've got no one to hang out with at home. I will go out with my friends and party. Obviously with the friends that were up for it. Like I wasn't bailing on my friends previously. When you become more available, people are like, oh yeah, do you want to go do this? So I was going out a lot more and, you know, just having fun. I guess the initial shock of the whole thing wore off eventually. I wasn't necessarily sad that we broke up, like I missed him as such. In that way, like, oh, my love of my life is gone. It was more of a feeling of failure and not being wanted again. Like that was why I felt sad, and I really wanted to prove to people that I could be okay, and I tried so hard to be okay, and I fought really, really hard. And I guess I got to the point where I did genuinely start feeling okay, and I genuinely was just like, yeah, I'm cool. Like it took a little while to get used to it, but I'm actually in a good place. And that's when I sort of decided that I could probably start talking to guys. Like I wasn't actively going out and seeking these people. I wasn't like, you know, doing it on purpose. If someone was to talk to me and we had an interesting conversation, I would speak to them. I did get Tinder with Josie one night. I smell like beef in the bio, and don't get me wrong, Tinder, there's nothing wrong with Tinder. But I wasn't using it seriously. I was intrigued by it, and I didn't really like it personally. But I know that Tinder is also great because I know people that have, you know, just make it a bit lighter in it. I know people that have started relationships from Tinder, and that's fucking brilliant. I mean, and I've got no room to talk because I'll get onto it, but I met my boyfriend on Bumble. So yeah, I guess I was just sort of like chatting to people, like nothing was going on, like no dates were being had at that point, but I was just like me. And then I did go on like a few dates with like a couple of different people, and like nothing really came of it. I wasn't really looking for a relationship. I guess I just wanted a bit of attention, you know, that's fine. I had my previous worries about not being wanted anymore, so getting a bit of attention and seeming like someone's into you is quite nice. And then I got Bumble because a friend of mine told me about it. The girl has to speak first, so you don't get loads of guys just like messaging you and being a bit weird, which I found sometimes with Tinder. Like I wrote I smell like beef in my bio, and I genuinely had guys being like, I bet you taste good with gravy, and I'm like, shit. I got Bumble and I was just like chatting to people. Like I thought, oh fuck it, we'd had a few to drink, downloaded it, was having a look on it, and anyway I started talking to a couple of different people, to be honest, and then I started speaking to Mark on there, who's my current boyfriend. Success story. And my friend Heidi texted me saying that, oh my god, you're texting my friend, this is crazy, sort of thing. And I was like, is he nice? He's not crazy, he's not mean, is he fit? Lol. She was like, yeah, he's one of the nicest guys I know, he's like a brother to me, he's really, really nice. And I was like, oh, okay. So because of that, I felt a bit better about, you know, talking. And I thought, you know what, maybe I will go on a date with this guy. So we talked loads, and then we managed to figure out a day to go meet up. And thing is with Mark, because I got in his car, and I don't know, I immediately felt like I'd known him forever and like at ease with him. Like I'd never felt that with a guy like instantly. So I was like, oh, he's so lovely. And then he was like, oh, I want to see you again. So I was like, okay, cool. And then between each of these times we were just chatting loads, and I thought, you know what, this is a really nice guy. Like he's so lovely, and wow, like I really like him. And then on the second date we kissed each other. Well, he kissed me. He like came at my face at the bowling alley. I was like sitting there, and then all of a sudden he was like there. And then it just flourished from that. Like I said, I wasn't looking for anything, but you know, he was a really nice guy, and I saw it as an opportunity, and I didn't feel bad at all. I was on cloud nine. I was really feeling happy. And then sort of a couple of months in, I guess, I started to feel a bit of guilt. I don't know what it was. I felt a bit guilty because I felt like I had a lot of baggage. So I did, you know, I'm not divorced yet, because divorcing in the UK is so fucking annoying and bullshit. I felt guilt for some reason because I still really, one of the things that really bummed me out about breaking up with my ex was I still really loved his family. Like, I love his mum, his dad, his sisters. Like, we get on so well. And, you know, I still see them. I still hang out with them. And why should I have to miss out on a relationship with these people that I got on so well with just because we broke up? Like, there was no hard feelings between us. What's the problem with that? But I felt bad. I was like, I felt weird that I had a new boyfriend, but I was still seeing them, and I felt I felt bad telling them that I'd got a new boyfriend. And then Mark, I felt bad about it, but it was all stupid because they don't mind. He doesn't mind. So I had all these weird guilt feelings. And then, I don't know, my mind got in a bit of a pickle because I thought, like, should I be doing this? Should I be in a relationship? Should I have moved on so quickly? And yeah, I guess I did feel a bit bad about it. I sort of realised that actually, like, what is this invisible law? What is this time constraint that people feel that there should be when you're in a relationship? Like, it makes no sense. And, you know, I wasn't particularly happy in my last relationship. And I knew it wasn't right, and I met someone that it does feel right with and that does make me really happy and who I've got a lot in common with. So why shouldn't I move on? And I did realise that eventually. And now I'm in like a really good, healthy, happy relationship with someone completely different. Me and my ex still get on. We're fine. Like, we don't really talk often, but if there's something that I need to ask him, so there isn't really any hard feelings there. You know, it's not easy. I think everybody's situations and circumstances are all different. I guess for me, my advantage was I already was at a point when we broke up that I was unhappy and I knew that it wasn't right. It was just the kind of admitting that and doing something about it I couldn't do myself. So in a way, I guess it was a blessing in disguise. But it still didn't mean it was easy. Like, there's so many feelings that you have, because even though I wasn't happy, he was still the one that left me. Therefore, I felt like a failure. I felt like there was something wrong with me. I felt unwanted. I felt not good enough. I couldn't quite understand why he wouldn't want me. Like, I thought I was great. So for him to just walk out, I felt really offended by that and really like, oh, okay. And that was the hard part. There is always a silver lining. There will always be someone that does want you. There will always be someone that does want your time, and there'll always be someone that respects you and treats you right. You will come across people that you won't get along with, that won't appreciate you, but there always will be someone that will. And I think that is really, really important to know. And it is okay to be sad and confused and unhappy about these things, because emotions are complex and they have their weird ways of rearing their heads when you least expect it. Like, I honestly thought I was okay for a while, and then I felt really shitty, and then I was okay, and then, you know, it's been a healing process, I'm not gonna lie. But I got out there at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel was there. Being around people that are understanding and patient with you. Like, my boyfriend is so understanding, like, unreal. I was really embarrassed to tell him that I was married. I thought that would be it, that he wouldn't want to date me anymore. But he was so fucking good about it. And I talk about things that I feel and that I go through, and he's so good. Like that, it's like that with my friends as well. They never get bored of being a shoulder to cry on. I hope not. They always talk to me about these things, and I'm always ranting at them about my really irrational, stupid thoughts, but, you know, they're there for me, and that's really, really great. Bad things happen, shitty things happen to us, and if we're not in control of them and we can't do anything about it, there is no point in getting upset and letting it ruin our lives. And I mean that more in this kind of context. Like, sometimes bad things happen. I'm trying to think of the quote. Hakuna Matata. Basically, not everyone wants to be in a relationship as well, which is fine. Like, you go through a breakup, you might just think, I don't want to be with anyone for a long time, and that's also really fucking fair. Like, to be honest, I thought that was going to be me. I thought I was going to be single for the rest of the year, to be honest, because I wasn't, you know, I might have downloaded Tinder, I might have downloaded Bumble, I might have been like been on a few dates, but I really wasn't in the mindset or really wanted a relationship. I just happened to meet a guy that was basically ticked all the boxes, and I was like, I'm not gonna like let this one go. I feel like it's all right to not be all right, knowing that it will get better and knowing that your life doesn't end when you break up with someone. You know, there's so much more out there. It's really cliche, but there really are plenty more fish in the sea. And it is heartbreaking when you break up with someone. You're losing someone. It's like you have to mourn for someone because you've lost them. Someone that you loved and someone that you cared about and that was in your life a lot is gone. And that's hard. That's hard to get your head around. Life really does go on. There'll be plenty of other people to occupy your time and talk to. And I think acceptance is just important as well. Like, I feel like I got angry at times and sad and like really resentful. But you know what? Just accepting that it is what it is. This has happened. It's not the end of the world. Life goes on, and this is just the way. This is just the way it is. But yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year. And it's been a tough year, but it's also been a great year. You know, started a bit wobbly, and then it ended really, really fucking great. So if anything, I just hope that this video has brought you guys hope. If you're not having a great time, if anyone can relate to it, you know, that's all I hope. Just to be honest and share my experiences with you. But that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Love you loads. Bye.